From internet-connected heart monitors to video-enabled consultations and vast internal data sources, the rapid penetration of digital technology into the healthcare sector has radically altered how healthcare professionals work with patient data. As positive as this is, one drawback that many healthcare organizations and medical professionals are uncertain about how to handle patient data. High-profile cases of data breaches continue to prove a reminder of the value of thorough and easy-to-use compliance processes. A feasibility study is a study which is performed by an organization in order to evaluate whether a specific action makes sense from an economic or operational standpoint. The objective of the study is to test the feasibility of a specific action and to determine and define any issues that would argue against this action. The question of feasibility study essentially tries to answer is, should we proceed with a specific action plan, on top of determining whether the plan is viable? But there is a difference that at many times gets construed. A business plan provides a planning function and defines the actions needed to take a business idea into reality, whereas a feasibility study provides an investigation into a specific action and whether it is viable, understanding the risks better, and preparing for them. Studies can come from all types of realms. Is the data readily available? How often will the data be needed? Will it be needed from different sources of the health system? And so forth. Since the studies aims to discover whether an action is viable, it can help organizations to avoid costly or operationally exhausting ventures. The study is typically used in situations where an important strategic decision needs to be taken. This can vary, and some of the example situations include change in business location, purchase of new equipment or software, acquisition of another company, hiring of additional employees. A feasibility study is often at the core of launching a business, such as going live with the EHR in a healthcare organization. The first element deals with the technical feasibility of the proposed action plan. If the organization is introducing a new product or service, the technical feasibility study will determine if it is a technically viable action. The elements focus on testing the market for the proposed action or idea. It examines issues like whether the product or service can be sold at a reasonable price or if there's a marketplace for it. The aim is to try to cover all the possibilities and create a risk assessment map which deals with the possibility of the risk and the impact it will have on the business. It's aimed at recognizing the risk that can make or break a business from a smaller, more manageable risk. For instance, consider a healthcare organization conducting a feasibility study in order to hire a new employee. One risk might deal with the possibility the hire is an inadequate fit and leaves after a 6-month trial period. But the risk assessment might show that while the risk of this is relatively high, the survivability of the organization does not depend on it. For example, the cost of a bad hire would be low due to the recruitment strategy or the position not being essential for operations. A feasible study can be a time-consuming process, and it doesn't come without its costs. It's therefore auspicious to start by conducting preliminary analysis. This is essentially a pre-screening of the proposed action, and it examines whether a proper feasibility assessment is worth the time and money. Overall, a feasibility study is the perfect tool for situations where the impact is likely to be big in terms of operational or economic significance. Key indicators of the quality of measuring instrument are the reliability and validity of the measures. The process of developing and validating an instrument is in large part focused on reducing error in the measurement process. Reliability estimates, evaluate the stability of measures, internal consistency of measurement instruments, and inter-rater reliability of instrument scores. Validity is the extent to which the interpretations of the results of a test are warranted, which depends on the particular use the test is intended to serve. The responsiveness of the measure to change is of interest in many of the applications in healthcare, where improvement in outcomes as a result of treatment is a primary goal of research. Several issues may affect the accuracy of data collected, such as those related to self-report and secondary data sources. Self-report of patients or subjects is required for many of the measurements conducted in healthcare, but self-reports of behavior are particularly subject to problems with social desirability biases. Data that were originally gathered for a different purpose are often used to answer research questions, which can affect the applicability to the study at hand. In healthcare and social science research, many of the variables and interests of outcomes that are important are abstract concepts known as theoretical constructs. Using tests or instruments that are valid and reliable to measure such constructs is a crucial component of research quality.